Hey guys, Jonathan here with TLD. Hope you guys are doing well. I am back with a roundup of some of the cooler products that I saw last week at CES 2014. Today's video is brought to you by HH Greg. Stay tuned for a chance to win a brand new 65-inch Samsung UHD TV. Now this isn't a top 10 or in any specific order, it's more so just a relaxed kickback video of 10 of the cooler tech products that I saw at the show. Now before I jump into the actual list, this is kind of a bonus item. Obviously I'm not including it because it's not something that's coming out, but I'm sure me, like most of you guys, grew up watching Back to the Future, so to be able to see the actual DeLorean in person was kind of awesome. So kicking off my list is an iPhone 5 and 5S stun gun case. Yes, you heard that correctly, it is a freaking iPhone stun gun case. Now this is from Yellow Jacket, who currently already have an iPhone 4 and 4S stun gun case, but they are rolling out this one coming in February. It is a 3-function design, so first and foremost, it's going to protect your phone. It also has a built-in 1800 mAh battery pack, so it's going to give you about a full charge on an iPhone. Now, unlike the iPhone 4 and 4S model, the stun gun is actually detachable, so if you want to give your phone to little Timmy over there, you don't got to worry about him shocking himself. But it does have dual safety mechanisms, so that way it's not going to go off and zap yourself in your pants. And it also features ambidextrous triggers, so if you want to stun someone left or right-handed, you are good to go. So like I said, this is available in February, and they also do have a Galaxy S4 model coming down the road. Next up is the Sony Handycam 4K camcorder, and the biggest selling point about this is the $19.99 price tag. So with this, Sony is bringing 4K recording to a somewhat affordable prosumer level. It's going to shoot at a resolution of 3840 by 2160 at 30p, and it's going to do so in an XAVC-S codec. It also features Carl Zeiss glass, 12 times optical zoom. More good news is that it shoots to standard SDXC cards, so you're not locked down to Sony's proprietary memory cards. And I did get a chance to go hands-on with it, and I gotta say I was definitely more impressed than I thought I would be for the price point. These will be available in March. I believe pre-orders are already up on their website. So if you guys want to learn more about this or any of the products that I've covered, I will have all that linked right below that thumbs up button. Following that is the Lenmar Chugplug, which instantly caught my eye. It's an external battery for 45 and 60 watt MacBooks. So that means the 11 and 13-inch MacBook Air and the 13-inch MacBook Pro, both Retina and non-Retina. Now for the 11-inch MacBook Air, that's going to get you an additional 4 hours of battery life and 3 extra hours on the 13-inch MacBook Air and MacBook Pro. Now I'm sure you guys are curious, because I was as well, if this will work with the 15-inch MacBook Pro. Now I've talked to Lenmar and it will work technically, but it is not designed to do so. And they are working on one that will come out that is going to be better suited to work with the 15-inch MacBook Pro, so look out for that one later this year. If you are curious how this works with both Retina and non-Retina models, it's actually designed to work with your existing MacBook power cables. So you can charge this while you're charging your MacBook Pro. And if anyone's interested in seeing a review on this when it comes out, let me know with a comment down below. Next up is also an external battery, which there were tons and tons and tons of different external batteries, but this one really stood out to me because not only is it a 12,000 milliamp hour battery, it's also a flashlight and it can jumpstart your car. So the flashlight will work in a traditional constant on mode or an SOS signal, which will actually stay on continuously for up to 120 hours. As far as the jump starting goes, it comes in a kit with everything you need to jumpstart your car, so no longer do you have to bug your friend or ask a stranger. It'll actually jumpstart 4 and 6 cylinder cars up to 20 times on a full charge, and if you're looking at a V8, you're looking at about 5 to 10 times. Now they are working on a larger prototype models you can check out right here, and this one will apparently jumpstart a big rig. So in a sea of more pixels, curved displays, bigger TVs, I thought it was actually cool to find something that we could use in our everyday lives. Speaking of TVs, however, next up is a 77-inch flexible OLED 4K TV from LG. Now, if you've never seen an OLED TV in person, they look absolutely stunning. They're expensive as hell, but they look amazing. So on top of being a beautiful OLED display, it is also 4K and it is flexible. Now at this point, I'm sure most of us could live without a curved display. It's a little bit gimmicky as far as the TV goes. I will admit there is kind of a surround effect that kind of immerses you into the content. So if I were to get a curved display, it would definitely be something like this where you can control it being flat or curved with the click of a button. Now I do know this is not going to be remotely affordable, so this will be in my tech dreams, but regardless, it was one of the coolest things that I saw at the show. Next up is Reign by Jaybird, and you may be familiar with them for their earbuds, but this is actually a pretty slick looking activity tracker. So this is waterproof, sweatproof, it works on both iOS and Android, so that's a plus. And what should separate this from other trackers is its integration with its app. So you got 3 main sections: activity, sleep, and the GoZone. Activity is exactly what it sounds like. It will give you a detailed breakdown of your daily activity, but the cool thing is it will actually recognize different sports. So if you're walking, you're running, you're swimming, it'll know what you're doing and break it down based off those categories. Sleep, again, is what it sounds like. It will track your sleep activity. So how long you slept, how well or not well you slept, and based off previous sleep patterns, how much sleep you should be looking for tonight to catch up on rest. Now, GoZone is actually based off a variable heart rate. So you actually place your finger on the band every morning, and it'll give you a breakdown of how ready or not ready your body is for activity. Now, this will be available in May, and like everything I've showed off so far, if you want more info, I will have all that linked down below. Next up is kind of one of those things where health meets tech, and that is Corning's Antimicrobial Gorilla Glass. So Corning didn't really have a demo of the actual glass itself, but what they did do is show off a little test of how dirty our phones actually are. So they grabbed this dude's iPhone, swabbed it up, popped it in their little germ reader, and then from there showed us a chart of different levels of ATP, or basically how contaminated a surface was. Luckily, this guy's phone was only in the moderate level, but they did say they encountered people who claimed to be clean and had phones that were contaminated into the higher levels. So the idea behind this obviously being antimicrobial is to continuously bring down contamination levels. So I think this is one more of those pieces of tech that we will find useful and benefit us in our everyday lives. Next up is the iRing by iCape Multimedia, and this was kind of a trip because it is a motion controller for music apps on your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch. So what it is a double-sided ring that you put on your fingers, and it'll use the front-facing camera on your device to operate in an XYZ pattern. So the best way to think about it is to actually picture a three-dimensional grid, X, Y, and Z, and it'll allow you to control different parameters. So you can move your hand left to right, you can control things like delay time or feedback. You can move your hand closer or farther away, and it's going to give you control to that third parameter, which is the Z axis. On top of that, they're also releasing a free SDK to hopefully implement into games and things like that. So here you can see an early implementation of Pong, which obviously is just scratching the surface, but it should be very interesting to see where this goes with future games and obviously music apps. Next up is the rugged Ruckus 2 from Eton, who I've always been a fan of. This is a wireless portable Bluetooth speaker that now also features NFC connectivity. This features an improved solar panel, so you can use this straight off sunlight, but it also features a built-in battery that you can charge via USB. So if you want to use this after it gets dark, it'll give you an additional 8 hours. On top of that, it will also charge your phone. So I was pretty impressed and definitely look forward to reviewing this once it is released. Closing out my list is the Mophie Spacepack, and this is for the iPhone 5 and 5S, and I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with Mophie's battery-powered iPhone cases, but this actually adds space on top of power. So it features a 1700 milliamp hour battery, which pretty much means it's going to double your battery life. And like I talked about, with a companion app, it'll actually give you extra storage on your iPhone. So the base model comes in at 16 gigs, that's 16 gigabytes of additional storage, or you can bump up for 30 extra bucks to a 32 gigabyte model. And it's supposed to work seamlessly with movies, music, documents, where you can actually drag and drop things from your desktop to your iPhone through the Mophie app. The only downside is the actual case needs to have a charge so you can access the files, but regardless, it looks like a really interesting product, and again, I'm looking forward to reviewing this once it comes out. So that wraps up this video of 10 cool pieces of tech that I saw at CES 2014. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did and you are feeling like being awesome, make sure to hit that like button. Now, if there's anything from this video that you guys saw and you want covered in more detail, let me know and I will try to make that happen. Again, I want to thank HH Greg for making this video possible. Like I talked about, they are doing their Super 48K giveaway right now, where you can win a huge Samsung 65-inch 4K UHD TV, tablets, soundbars, Blu-ray players, gift cards. There's a ton of prizes. You guys can enter the contest by using the link right below. That'll get you 1 entry per day. You can also use Facebook for a 2nd entry per day. And they also have an Endless Blitz game for iOS, Android, and Kindle that'll get you up to an additional 3 entries per day. So info on all that, of course, is linked down below. Thank you guys again for watching. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave me a comment or hit me up on Twitter at TLD Today. Again, this is Jonathan. I hope you guys enjoyed the CES coverage, and I will see you guys later.